Hello children, in today's video we are going to do the back exercise of hydrocarbons. So the first question for it is, how do you account for the formation of ethane during chlorination of methane? Dear student, this is based on the free radical mechanism as we have done in the part of alkane video. So how the free radical mechanism takes place, it occurs in three steps. The first is known as initiation, that is the starting part, in which the Cl single bond Cl undergoes homolysis in presence of sunlight. Then it results in formation of 2Cl free radical. The free radicals are generated here. Now the second step is propagation. Continuation of the work has been done. Propagation. Now during the propagation step, the methane, that is CH3H, now reacts with the chlorine free radical. The chlorine free radical, the bond is shifted on this side and the chlorine free radical is reacted with H free radical, forming the methyl free radical along with HCl. So the reaction goes on in continuation, the propagation goes on. For example, may result in CH3 free radical, again Cl bond Cl, then again the free radical has been generated for the Cl as previous, resulting in formation of CH3Cl along with Cl free radical. So this goes on and on. Further, the term comes the termination, the end. So in the end, how can we show the formation of ethane? It is very simple that it may happen the 2-methyl free radical may react with each other, forming a single covalent bond and giving rise to ethane. Or it may even happen that the methyl free radical may react with the chlorine free radical, forming methyl chloride, or the 2Cl free radical combined together to form Cl2. So there are various different possibilities of the termination step. So these are the three steps in which we can show that how the ethane is formed from the methane. By using the free radical mechanism, homolytic cleavage is taken here. Now in the question number 2, write the IUPAC name of the following compound. While doing the IUPAC name, we can consider here the formation of long chain. All the things have to be considered along with the giving priority to the double bond also. So drawing it like this, the name comes, the name for it is starting from this 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the name becomes 2-methyl, and but-2-ene, 2-methyl-but-2-ene. Now in the second case, we know that if double and triple bond both are present, then the priority is given to the double bond. So the priority is followed. The name becomes pent-1-ene, 3-ine. Now the fourth one is very simple again. It is buta. We know the rules as we have studied in the previous lesson. Buta 1,3-diene. Now the next one. Now here the chain is getting the preference over the phenyl because the double bond is also present here. It becomes 4-phenyl but-1-ene. Now coming to the other one, this is actually cresol. In the common name, it is known as cresol, orthocresol. So it becomes 2-methyl phenol. Now the sixth one. In the sixth one, the numbering is done like this so that the long chain is followed as well as the branching is also to be considered. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. Let us number it as 2, 3, 4 because there are 3 CH2. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In place of writing it in the open form, in the shorter way, we can also write it like this, and this is 10. Now here, 1, 2. If these two CH3 are represented separately, let us draw it separately, although they are given in the question together. So it will become CH3. It is a consideration of a chain, a branch on a branch. It becomes like that. So we can say that on 5, there is presence of methyl at the second position on the propyl chain. So 5, then we have to write as 2-methyl, 2-methyl propyl, and the overall it is decene. 2-methyl-propyl decane. In the seventh part, the numbering is to be followed, giving importance to the double bond as well as to the branch, keeping the lowest locant rule also in consideration. 7, 8, 9, and 10. It is again a 10 chain. So it becomes 4-ethyl. On the fourth position, it is presence of ethyl. Deca 158. Then it is triene, 3 times triene. So this is what we have to do in the question number 2, that is giving the IUPAC name. Now in the question number 3, we have to give the structural formulas and IUPAC name for all the possible isomers having the number of double or triple bond as indicated. So when we talk about C4H8, it is having the general formula CnH2n, which is either of alkene or the cycloalkanes. The cycloalkanes can also be given the name like this, but they have asked the formula of the possible double or triple bonded. So it can only be considered as the alkene here. So the first one is the but1ene, CH3, CH2, CH double bond, CH2. That is but1ene. In the other case, CH3, CH double bond, CH, CH3. That is the but2ene. When we talk about but2ene, it can be cis or trans. So let us classify it into 2 forms. That is whether it is cis-butene or trans-butene. That is CH3, CH3, H and H. We know that it is known as the cis-but2ene. And in this case, when we will be drawing C double bond C, on the opposite side, the same type of groups are present. Then it will be known as, this structure will be known as trans-but2ene. Okay, so it becomes trans-but2ene. Now one more structure for it is, that is the C, C and double bond C, and one of the branches on the center one. So what the name given to it is 2-methyl-prop1ene. So overall we get how many isomers for it? 1, then 2, 3, and total 4. The butene has further been shown as cis and trans. So let us come to the other example of C5H8. In case of C5H8, it is a triply bonded. So let us start with the first case, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and the triple bond on the first one. Completing the number of the hydrogen, we know that it is mandatory to be shown here. It becomes pent1-ine. Then triple bond on the center position, that is the other one. Triple bond is kept here. So it becomes pent2-ine. Now the third one, making the chain a little bit smaller. Now the branch can only be placed on this carbon, completing the number of the hydrogen atoms. So what we get here, it is 3-methyl-but1-ine. Okay, now coming to the other one. Write the IUPAC name of the product obtained by the ozonolysis of following compound. We know that during the ozonolysis, it is mandatory to show the ozonide and then the lysis of it. So how we have prepared it in the video part also, that is first of all draw the pent2ene and separately show how many different groups are present on it, so that it can easily be easy and in simplified manner it can be shown as C double bond C. On one side it is CH3 and H, on the other it is H and C2 H5. Now when you add ozone to it, it becomes ozonide, that is CH3 C H. Ozonide has been formed here, HC2 H5, and a complete ozonide is formed, ozonide. And then the lysis of the ozonide is done, breaking it from here, releasing the O. The product obtained is CH3 C double bond O and H. And on the other side, we get as HC double bond O and C2 H5. So how the lysis takes place in the presence of zinc and water. So the further naming for it is also done. It is ethanol, And the third is 3-carbon aldehyde, that is propanol. So the two products are obtained here. Now in the other case, first we should draw the structure of this, that is hep3-ene. Hep3-ene. Okay, so drawing it in a simple way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. On the hep, the third is ene, and on 3 and 4 position, it is having the methyl present on it. So we can draw it in a simplest form, combining this CH2, CH2, CH3 as a single entity. We can make it as C double bond C. The one side it is having C2H5. On the other side it is having CH3. On one side it is having C3H7. And on the other side it is having again CH3. So as soon as we add ozone, we get the ozonide here. The ozonide is shown as C2H5, CH3, nascent the O is centered shown here, C3H7, CH3, and then the oxygen has been shown in the form of the ozonide. The ozonide has further been broken down in the presence of zinc and water. As soon as it is broken down, the two products are obtained. Then it is C, CH3, double bond O, and the other product is going to be C3H7, and on the other side it is having CH3. So what the two products are obtained in the first case, the first one is butane 2-one, and the other product is the total 5 carbon. It is pentane 2-one. So the two product, both the ketones are obtained here. Now let us come to the third example. It is 2-ethyl but1-ene. Drawing the 2-ethyl structure. So we get C double bond C. On one side it is having both the H, on the other side it is having both the ethyl group. So making the ozonide for it. As soon as we draw the ozonide and doing the lysis, we get the two product. One is methanol and the other is pentane 3-one. So now coming to the last part, that is 1-phenyl but1-ene. So it is but1-ene, and on the one position it is having the phenyl attached to it. So showing all the carbon and hydrogens on it, we get HC. In place of phenyl, we can write it as C6H5 also, C, H and C2H5. So adding the ozone to it, we get the ozonide, HCC6H5. Then the ozonide is formed, C and C2H5 and H. Now making the lysis of it, breaking down of it in the presence of zinc and water, we get HCC6H5 double bond O, that is benzaldehyde, along with C2H5 and H with the double bond O. So in the first case, the example is the product obtained is benzaldehyde, and the other example is 3-carbon aldehyde, that is propanol. So these are the 4 examples which are based on the ozonolysis. Now let us come to the 5th question. This is also a very important question based on ozonolysis phenomena. So an alkene on ozonolysis gives a mixture of A on ozonolysis followed with zinc and water in the second step. The first step ozonolysis and the second is zinc and water, results in formation of ethanol and pentane 3-one. So a very simple way how to represent the formation of the product is to draw both the carbonyl compounds. So the one is ethanol, that is C double bond O, and here it is CH3 and H. Then the other is pentane 3-one, pentane 3-one, so there are going to be 2 carbons C2H5, and since it is pentane 2-one, on both the side it is having C2H5. So a very special way, remove both these O, okay, and you will get the name of the simple alkene, that is CCH. It is double bond C2H5, and this is also C2H5. So if we remove these O and join both the structure with the help of a double bond, then we will get the alkene. So we can, in the other way, we can write it here like this. That is, the first step is by adding of ozone, and the second step is zinc and water. this alkene can dissociate into two products, that is, one is ethanol and pentane 3-one. So what's the name of the alkene? The longest chain is also considered, and the double bond also. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So it becomes 3-ethyl pent 2-ene. The name of the alkene is 3-ethyl pent 2-ene. Now coming to the sixth question, an alkene A contains 3 C single bond C, 8 C single bond H, sigma bond, and 1 C single bond C pi bond. A on ozonolysis gives 2 moles of aldehyde of molar mass 44 unit, and we have to identify the IUPAC name of A. So A is going to be A is aldehyde and alkene A. And alkene A is going to give the product as aldehyde. So it is necessary that on both the side of the double bond, one of the H is present. So now further what they have given, that it on ozonolysis gives 2 moles of aldehyde. 2 moles of aldehyde, both having the 44 mass. So it must be a symmetrical alkene because the two products are same to same of the 44 mass. Because the structure is showing that both the simplest aldehyde, which is of 44 unit, is ethanol. So as we know that the simple aldehyde which is having the 44 mass unit is CH3CHO. So it is well evident that on both the side of the alkene it must be having CH3. Okay, so this CH3, if we undergoes the ozonolysis, it will give the 2 aldehyde molecules. But we have to identify it on the basis of an alkene A contain 3 C single bond C. So if we draw this structure in the open form and count how many C, H and single bonds are present. So 1, 2, then double bond. So how many sigma bonds are present? Sigma, 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 and 1 pi. So there are 3 sigma bonds, 3 C single bond C. And how many H are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 8 C single bond H sigma bond. So it is well confirmed that it is going to be but2-ene, because but2-ene on ozonolysis followed with zinc and water is going to give us 2-ethanol, 2 moles of ethanol. So the first step, that is O3, and the second step, that is zinc and water, it is going to give us the final product as 2 molecules of CH3, 2 moles of CH3CHO. So the structure has been confirmed also, because the same structure can be obtained for but1-ene also. But in that case, the product is not going to be ethanol. So it can only be possible if it is but2-ene. Now coming to the 7th question, propanol and pentane 3-one are the ozonolysis product of an alkene. What is the structural formula of alkene? So just as we have done in the 5th question, C2H5, C double bond O and H, and pentane 3-one, that is C2H5 as well as C2H5. So removing both the O and making both the compounds joined by double bond. Let us show it like this: C2H5, C double bond C, H, C2H5, and then C2H5. So what the product is going to be? It is going to be 3-ethyl, that is the numbering is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 2 carbons are there. So if we number it like this, then the ethyl get the 4th position. But if we number it in the opposite manner, that is from this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So ethyl gets the 3rd position. So following the lowest number rule, we will give it as name 3-ethyl hex 3-ene. Hex 3-ene, which is going to form the 2 given propanol and pentane 3-one when it is done with ozonolysis and treated with zinc and water. Now coming to the 8th question, write the chemical equation for the combustion reaction of the following. Combustion is burning of a compound in presence of oxygen and converting it into CO2 water. So C4H10 is treated with O2, burning is done, and forming 4 CO2 and 5 water. All the carbon and hydrogen are converted into CO2 and water on heating. So the amount of oxygen required is 8 plus 5, 13, that is 13 by 2. Now in case of pentene, pentene is C5H10. The butane is going to be gas, O2 is going to be gas, CO2 is gas, water is also gas. So we have to write these things also. So C5H10 with oxygen burning followed, it will form 5 CO2 and 5 H2O, all in the gas form. This pentene is also a gas and this O2 is also a gas. So we have to balance 5 to the 10 oxygen plus 5 oxygen, that is 15 by 2. The balancing is done for one standard part. Hexane. Hexane is C6H10 gas, is treated with oxygen, burning is done, 6 CO2 along with 5 water, 12 plus 5, that becomes 17. So oxygen is 17 by 2. Now coming to the case of toluene, we all know that toluene is a benzene ring with CH3, that is C6H5CH3. Then we can write it in a simple way as C7H8 plus O2, heating 7 CO2 plus 4 water. So 14 plus 4, that is 18, that is here it comes the 9 O2. Now in the ninth question, draw the cis and trans structure of hex-2-ene. So hex-2-ene, which isomer will have a higher boiling point? So hex-2-ene is this. Total of 6 carbons. Okay, now we have to draw the total structure. So first completing how the various hydrogens are there. Now draw the cis and trans structure of hex-2-ene, which isomer will have higher boiling point and why. So this is the structure of hex-2-ene. Now if we draw both the H on the same side of the double bond, it becomes cis-hex-2-ene, cis-hex-2-ene. And if we draw both these hydrogen on the opposite side, then it becomes, it is trans-hex-2-ene. So now in this case, we have also to judge that which is going to have the highest boiling point. Now the boiling point, first we have to remember that the boiling point of a molecule depends upon dipole-dipole interaction. Depends upon dipole-dipole interaction. So since now we have to remember here that cis isomer has the higher dipole moment. Cis is going to have the higher dipole moment, therefore it must be having the higher boiling point. So let us see how it is going to have the higher dipole moment. So electron releasing group, both the releasing groups are present. So the cis is going to have the higher dipole moment. Cis has higher dipole moment. So since it is having the higher dipole moment, it is going to have the higher boiling point. But in case of trans, the boiling point is not going to be as high because in this case, there is lower dipole moment. There is lower dipole moment. So it is going to have the lower boiling point. Now in the last question, that is, why is benzene extraordinarily stable though it contains the 3 double bonds? Why it is going to be extra stable? So we all know that resonance gives the stabilization. So resonance or delocalization of electron results in giving the stability. Resonance results in stability. In case of benzene, when we talk about benzene, there are 6 pi electrons, which are the 6 pi electrons are due to 3 pi bonds. There are 3 double bonds present here. 3 double bonds gives rise to 6 pi electrons. And these 3 double bonds or 6 pi electrons are completely delocalized. They are continuously delocalized. So what happened here? When there is complete delocalization, to form, it results in forming lowest energy molecular orbital. lowest energy molecular orbital is formed, which results in surrounding all the carbon atom of the ring. So there is complete delocalization of the pi electrons. It can also be shown like the planar structure of each carbon, which is sp2 hybridized. Now, one of the p orbital is there on each one of these. So it can be shown. So these are the p orbitals. And there is also one hydrogen with each of the carbon. So this is the hydrogen part. Now what we can show here is there is a delocalization. Okay, you can see here that these are the pi electron clouds above as well as below the surface can also be shown. Below the surface. This is below surface part undergoing the pi delocalization, the delocalization of the pi electrons, which is now this is equivalent to how we can write it. It is equivalent to if we draw the benzene in the bond line form. So there is 1,1H present on each of the carbon. Now there is formation of a cloud one above. One of the cloud is formed above the pi electron cloud above. This is the electron cloud which is formed above due to the delocalization of electrons, and one of the cloud is formed below. So there is also a formation of cloud above and below the surface, the main sp2 hybridized carbon. That is why benzene is extraordinarily stable. So this is the main reason, the resonance or delocalization of the electron. So in this video, we will do up to question number 10. Then in the other part, we are going to further do the back exercise of hydrocarbons. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy.